Hello once again, welcome to Mima's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet a mini shoulder bag. It's a very simple bag that is only done using single crochet in US terms. Okay, so for this bag you're going to need a scissors, you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 6mm crochet hook. You're also going to need two stitch markers, a button, and then you're also going to need the yarn that you'll be using for the bag. This one here is braided macrame, and it is about 3mm thick. So you can use any other type of yarn that you have, it just has to be thick. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so we're going to begin off with a chain of 23. Okay, so if you want the bag to be bigger, you just increase the number of chains that we are doing here at the beginning, and if you want it to be smaller, you just reduce the number of chains. Okay, so we're just going to chain 23. Okay, so this is my slip knot, and this is my first chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to continue and come back with a chain of 23. Okay, so I now have my chains, they're 23. So now I'm going to begin the first round. So we're going to be crocheting single crochet, and in US terms, in UK terms it's double crochet. Okay, so to begin off, you're going to skip this chain here from the hook, this first chain here from the hook, and then insert into the second chain from the hook. Grab your yarn, pull it through so that you have 2 loops, yarn over, and then pull through. So this is my first single crochet, this one. So I'm just going to put my stitch marker here. Okay, this is going to be marking my starting point. Okay, so in the next chain I'm going to put another single crochet. Okay, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through. So that's my second single crochet. Again, I repeat, and then again. Okay, so this is our single crochet. So just continue down the chains up until you're left with 1 chain, and then come back. Okay, so I've just done single crochet, and here I'm left with 1 chain, this one. Okay, so this is our single crochet. So because we want to crochet in the round, okay, we begin here, we want to crochet right round so that we start crocheting at the back of the chain so that it becomes one complete round. Okay, so what we're going to do here, to cater for the distance that we're going to take as we turn, we're going to put 4 single crochets into this chain. Okay, instead of putting 1, we're going to put 4 single crochets. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, again into that same chain. Okay, I'm just going to fold this. That's 2 into that same chain. That's 3. Okay, again the 4th single crochet into that chain. Okay, so here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet in that chain. So now you can see that our stitches are facing us, and now we're going to be crocheting in the back of the chains. Okay, so now we're going to be inserting our holes through here. Okay, at the back of the chains. Okay, so here I move on to the next and do 1 single crochet at the back of each chain. Okay, again, so I'm just hiding this tail as I crochet. Okay, like that. So just continue with single crochet at the back of the chains, inserting through these holes, and let's meet here when you're left with one chain here. Okay, so I've just crocheted at the back of the chains. Okay, so now I'm left with this one chain here, back of this first chain. Okay, so here we're going to put 3 single crochets into this stitch to also cater for this distance here that we're going to move up to the first stitch. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 single crochets. That's 1, again put another one, 2, and the last one, 3. Okay, so just adjust your stitches. Right, so this is going to be our small base for our shoulder bag. Okay, so now we're moving on to round 2. So I'm just going to remove this stitch marker here to begin off my second round. So I'm going to be continuing with single crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook here. Okay, grab my yarn, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through both loops. I'm going to put back my stitch marker here since this is my first stitch. Okay, I move on to the next stitch. Like that, into the next. Okay, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, okay, so continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch right round, and let's meet back here at the end of the round. Welcome back. So I've just finished the second round. I'm back here at the starting point. So you'll find that your work will start curving inwards. Okay, so this here is the wrong side, so this is the inwards of the bag, and this is the right side. So you just turn it so that this one becomes the outside of the bag. Okay, so now moving on to round 3, you just remove your stitch marker and then put your first stitch into that. That's 1 single crochet, and then remember to put back your stitch marker to mark the starting point. Okay, since we are crocheting continuously without joining with a slip stitch. Okay, so from round 3 here, we're going to repeat round 2. That is, we're just going to be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch right round. Okay, up until you have a total of 15 rounds. Okay, right now we've done 1 and 2, so we're going to do 13 more rounds and then come back. So we should have 15 rounds and then come back. Okay, so that's 1 single crochet in each stitch right round. Okay, welcome back. So I now have 15 rounds. Okay, that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Okay, so now we want to put a buttonhole for our button. So the total number of my stitches here is 48. So depending on the number of stitches that you have, you just divide them by 4. Okay, if I divide mine by 4, I get 12. Okay, so I just want to have a center here where I can put the buttonhole. So I'm just going to count from where my bag folds. Okay, so I'm just going to take this stitch here. Okay, so this is going to be my first one. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, so here is where I'm going to put my buttonhole. Okay, so I'm just going to put another stitch marker in there. Okay, so here, so just put a stitch marker there. So we're going to do 1 more round of single crochet. So this is my first stitch here, so I'm just going to remove it and put my first stitch, my single crochet, And then I'm going to put it back, remove it when we're done. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with single crochet into each stitch. Okay, so now at the stitch with the stitch marker here, the 12th stitch, we're going to remove it, and we're going to skip that stitch. Okay, so I'm here. I'm going to remove the stitch marker. We no longer need it. Okay, so here we want to put a buttonhole, so I'm just going to chain 2, and then I'm going to skip the stitch. Okay, so depending on the size of your button, you do the number of chains that are enough for your button to fit. Okay, so I'm going to skip this, and I'm going to continue with single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so this is my buttonhole. So I'm just going to continue with single crochet right round, and let's meet back here at the starting point. Welcome back. So I've just finished this 16th round. Okay, so now I want to do a fine edge of slip stitch. Okay, to finish off, we want to do an edging of slip stitch. Okay, so with slip stitch, here's how we're going to do it. So I'm just going to remove this. If you see here, we have 2 loops, this front and the back. Okay, the front and the back, front and back. So our slip stitch, you're going to be inserting in the back loop only. Okay, so I'm going to insert in the back loop, grab my yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through again. Okay, so this is my first slip stitch. Okay, this one. I'm just going to put back my stitch marker to know where we started. Okay, in the next stitch, slip stitch again in the back loop. Okay, in the next, like this. Okay, so this is our slip stitch here. It's a very simple stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with slip stitch right round, and let's meet back here. When you reach this part here, you just put slip stitch in the back loop. Okay, here. Welcome back. So I've just done the slip stitch. You can see this is the round of slip stitch, and now we're back at the starting point. Okay, so now we no longer need this stitch marker here. I'm just going to do 1 slip stitch here, and then cut the yarn. Okay, and then pull it through all of it. So you're going to fasten this off inside so that it doesn't unravel. So okay, so this is our bag so far. So now I want to put the handles. So for the handles, what I've done here, I've just put this stitch marker at the edge here. So you count the total number of your stitches, divide them by 2, and then we're going to put the other stitch marker here. Here you skip this 1 stitch here that we added here when we did a chain of 2. Okay, so for mine, I'm going to put a stitch marker in stitch number 25. Okay, so that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. I'm going to skip this one, 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 is the stitch. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. Okay, so these are the points where my handle is going to be in. Okay, so now let's put the handle. Okay, so here I'm going to do a slip knot. Like this, and then I'm going to remove it, and then I'm going to come here in this stitch here, that. Then I'm going to pull like this. Okay, so I'm going to do a chain of 50. You can do a chain that is longer than 50 depending on the height that you want for the handle. So I'm just going to do a 50. So this is 1 2 3. I'm going to come back with a chain of 50. Okay, so this is my chain of 50. I feel it's like a bit short, so I'm just going to add 5 more. 50, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So I think this is okay. So here at this other stitch marker here, I'm going to remove it, and then I'm going to insert my hook. Then we're going to do like that. Okay, so this is my handle, but for it to look nice and to be more thick, we're going to do slip stitch along the chains up until we're back here at the starting point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again in that same stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to turn like this. Okay, so I'm going to do single crochet, slip stitch into each and every chain. Okay, like that. That's slip stitch. Again into this next. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with slip stitch up until I'm back at the starting point. Okay, so I'm here back at the starting point. Okay, so just make sure that your handle is straight, and I'm going to insert again into that stitch, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch like that and pull through, and then I'm going to cut. So this one here, I'm going to fasten it off. Okay, so first I'm just going to tie it with this one. Okay, like that. So these two here, I'm going to hide them inside and then come back. Okay, so our handle is done. This one, we're now left with the button here. So you just sew the button directly opposite to the buttonhole, or you can just count your stitches. This was the 12th stitch, so you just there's 12 12 12, that's about 36 in the 36th stitch here, and then you sew the button. Okay, so I'm just going to sew it here, and then our back will be done. So this is our back and this is our button. So you can just close your bag and fasten it off like this. Okay, so this is our bag and it's done. It's nice and simple and portable as well. Okay, so thank you for watching Mima's Crafts. If you have any comments or questions, please do comment below. I'll be happy to respond. Do like, subscribe and share for more videos. Thank you.